What is something that your profession allows you to do that would otherwise be illegal? Tackle people because they have something I want. Walmart Black Friday shopper. Football player. Disposal of dead bodies. Boil 'em, mash 'em, stick 'em in a stew. Username checks out. Going on closed trails or off-trail in areas that have been closed to the public for field research. Pokemon Go player. Watching film releases before the official release date. Torrent seeder. Pimp. Years ago, I would have loved that. Now, I sift through 15 minutes of garbage before I can even find something half interesting on Netflix. Chop up various human organs. Sometimes I take a little piece home with me. Pathologist. You work in histology? Username checks out. I get to walk into my workplace with an axe and nobody blinks an eye. It would be very strange to not be carrying an axe. To be honest, imagine if you carried in a feather duster and the building went into lockdown and the surrounding streets were cordoned off. Nice. I had a position where I was encouraged to cart a rifle and/or shotgun to work, as well as another job where I was asked to have my handgun on me a few times. School teacher. Watch people shower. Eat. Seems like I finally got the formula for updoots right. I do that too. I'm an occupational therapist. What job is that? Ethical penetration tester. I've been trained to be a cyber criminal, but to use my knowledge to help people. Oh right, computers, right. I was thinking something I dunno else. I arrange for people to take power tools, knives and ropes into prisons. I worked in construction in a prison. 2 hours to check in. Work 4 hours. 2 hours to check out. Heaven forbid you forget an essential tool outside of the 17 locked doors and gates. Santa. The grave robbing and general looting. Fellow archaeologist. I can freely look up clients' social security numbers, sometimes their bank accounts, and just about all of their most personal information. Yep, I stole over 200 identities this past tax season. I even told the IRS I was doing it. Put it on a big form and everything. The best part is, my victims paid me to do it. FBI, pay me to tax accountant here. I have access to hundreds of Australian tax file numbers, bank accounts, full names, date of births, and lots of documents that even the client themselves may have trouble getting. I have access to pretty much every explosive known to mankind. Also, I can legally cook meth, as long as I do the paperwork for it. Greater than I have access to pretty much every explosive known to mankind. Hexanitrohex is isowertcitane. Chemist. You've got to be a baker. Having access to clients' personal information, SSN, address, phone number, etc. along with their finances. Nigerian prince. I get to use all the for official use only center median U-turns on the highway. I had a friend get pulled over for doing this, and the cop came up and said to him, "These are for official use only." His response was, "Yeah, I was officially using it. It went well." You drive for Uber? Aren't you then just driving in an elaborate and large circle all day? I am a tandem skydiving instructor. It would otherwise be illegal to push people out of an airplane from 13,000 feet above the earth. Rub oil on naked people for money. Architect. My sister specializes in deep tissue massage, and she calls it beating up her clients. She beat up a cop the other day. Massage therapist. Lol. Last week, I had an appointment with a woman who stabbed me repeatedly for the sole purpose of permanently scarring me. Tattoo artist. I wonder if the tattoo artist kills someone in the process of giving them a tattoo. Would the news report say they stabbed the victim thousands of times before they died? I get paid by the US government to look at child pornography, mostly sitting in office buildings for Secret Service, FBI, Homeland Security, and, rarely, local police departments. This is because the government has to pay for a defense attorney if a defendant can't afford an attorney. and the attorney has the right to hire a computer forensic expert and check the evidence in person. In 20 years, I've seen only one case where the prosecuting attorney got the defendant mixed up with another defendant, and I had to say, guys, this defendant does not have any of this evidence at all on his computer, and they quickly found the mistake. Other than that, the government mostly gets it right, but there have been a few cases where although the evidence existed, the government got search warrants that were not exactly legal. Most of the work is not designed to show that the defendant is innocent, but rather to quantify how guilty he is, and/or find evidence that sort of explains the story, and/or if they represent threat to others. In other words, it's used at sentencing but not at trial. No one wants to present this evidence in front of a jury. Greater than I get paid by the US government to look at child pornography. The negatives of most jobs weekend classes: too boring, too much hard work, too dangerous, too long hours. But yours is just way too disturbing. Is it true that if the computer has a 10-hour video file, you need to watch it completely to make sure it has no kitty prawn? How do you cope with seeing that kind of horrible stuff? I always wondered, how do they make sure you don't have any colleagues who are getting paid for their hobby? This is one job I could never handle. How do you stay sane? Go into people's gardens in the middle of the night. Wait, WTF job is this? An opossum. Do you chant, "We do beg your pardon, but we're in your garden," while you're doing it? Handle and purchase very dangerous chemicals. Some lockers are literally referred to as the poison locker. Drive fast, talk on my phone, put needles into people, cut off clothing of unconscious people. Newspaper rounds sure have changed since I were a boy. Don't forget jamming things down throats. Stick my fingers up people's vaginas and bums. Not a pervert, just a nurse. Why not both? Not illegal if you have consent. Question: are most nurses really dirty-minded? It wasn't known that I was in a room hospital IT and a nurse came in with a few of her coworkers and blurted out, "I need some cocaine, a rim job and a cigarette, but not necessarily in that order," cracked me up. She was in her 50s. Are all of y'all that dirty? Break into houses and steal cars. What's your job? Make people radioactive. Ever given someone enough radiation to give them superpowers? Take children from their parents and keep them for an extended amount of time, from 6-12 hours a day. Angel. Carry a gun on an airplane. Now that's a job that I think would be interesting to hear about. Anyone can carry a gun into an airplane. Just not any airplane. I do that all the time. These guns kisses biceps. Watch what everyone in the schools is doing on their PCs. Real-time. Total invasion of privacy stuff. But it's for safeguarding the students, so it's all allowed. You can see what people are viewing. I thought you could only see the URL people were accessing, so reddit.com and not reddit.com/r/AskReddit. Also, what percentage of people in your experience use a VPN? Cut off your clothes. See you naked, and electrocute you with 2J per kilogram of electricity. All while I have my hands all over your chest. Also drive far above the speed limit. Force cars to veer for you. Possess and inject opioids. And put unconscious people into a van and drive them off to a building where many people die and people are regularly cut open. Wait, 2J per kilogram? That's one hell of a zap. Are you trying to jumpstart the hearts of a whole herd of elephants in one go? Walk in and out of a prison on the same day. In Germany, that would be legal for any prisoner. It's just pretty much impossible to pull off. At least not without violating other laws in the process. Finger a minor in front of a live audience. Thank you for watching. Comment, mindset. If you have reached this far into the video, have a good day.